Nestled in the heart of a quiet countryside town, Dar often found herself caught between the dreams and desires of those she cared about. On one side was Leona, who had been vocal about her longing for sun-soaked beaches and salty breezes, a stark contrast to Dawson's vision of romance. "It's not fair," Leona confided during one of their candid conversations. "I deserve to choose too, don't you think?" Dar listened intently, torn between empathizing with Leona's frustration and understanding Dawson's intentions. She knew how much effort Dawson poured into every gesture, how he meticulously planned moments to make their modest life feel special. "Leona," Dara began gently, "I understand you're disappointed, but don't you think Dawson is trying to create something magical for both of you? Maybe the countryside could hold its own kind of magic." Leona shook her head, visibly struggling to see it that way. "I know he means well," she admitted, her voice tinged with weariness. "But sometime, at first, he chalked it up to stress or fatigue, but unease gnawed at him, growing stronger with each passing day. The confirmation of his suspicions came unexpectedly. Returning home from the supermarket on what should have been an ordinary evening, Dawson entered the house laden with grocery bags. The usual sounds of domestic life were absent. Only an eerie silence greeted him. As he closed the door, the faint murmur of a conversation drifted from the bedroom. Curiosity and concern propelled him closer. Peering silently toward the source, he heard Leona's voice rise sharply, speaking rapid-fire French to someone on the other end of the line. Dawson froze, the grocery bag slipping forgotten from his hands. Though he hadn't yet begun learning French, the emotions in Leona's voice were unmistakable. Frustration, sadness, urgency, all swirling together in a tempest of feeling. Who could be on the other end of that call? What had provoked such raw emotion in his wife? After what felt like the fragile calm that had settled over the household was shattered a few months later, when Dar, who had become not just an employee, but a cherished family friend, found herself approached by Leona with an unusual and unsettling request. Leona needed a significant amount of money, a loan, and her evident hesitation to explain why sent alarm bells ringing in Dar's mind. "Leona," Dar began, concern coloring every word. "I want to help, but this is a lot of money. What's going on? Why do you need it?" Her loyalty to Dawson and the deep friendship she shared with both him and Leona placed her in a delicate position. She wanted to help, yet she also felt a responsibility to understand the situation fully. Leona looked at her, her gaze tinged with desperation. "It's complicated, Dar. It's family problems, things that need to be resolved in France. I can't involve Dawson in this. It would be too much for him." The explanation was vague, and Leona struggled to maintain her composure as she spoke. "I want to believe her, Dara, but something inside me says there's more. I love her, and the thought of seeing her sinking into something so serious, I feel like I've failed her somehow." Moved by Dawson's sincerity and anguish, Dar found herself caught in a moral dilemma. Should she reveal what she knew, or respect Leona's wishes and stay silent? "Dawson," she finally said, "maybe it's time for an open conversation with Leona. She might be waiting for an opportunity to share this with you, to seek help together." Taking Dar's advice to heart, Dawson tried to broach the delicate subject with Leona more than once. However, each attempt ended before it began, his courage fading at the sight of her worried expression. So he took refuge in the one thing he felt was under his control: learning French. Day after day, he dedicated himself to his studies, As time passed, Dawson's understanding of French improved greatly. He spent moments listening to conversations, radio programs, and even Frey. It was both simpler and more complicated than anything he had ever imagined. The truth, when it finally surfaced, hit Dawson like a freight train. Unable to contain himself, a cry tore from his lips, a raw, guttural sound of anguish and betrayal that reverberated through the house. Leona, startled by the sudden noise, abruptly hung up the phone. Turning toward him, her eyes widened as she took in the sight of Dawson's face, a mixture of shock, pain, and disbelief. Tears streamed down her cheeks before she could stop them, and an oppressive silence settled over the room. She opened her mouth to speak, but the words died on her tongue at the sight of his devastated expression. Instinctively, Leona resorted to what she knew best, a lie. It was a reflex born out of panic and desperation. "Dawson, it's just a misunderstanding with my family," she stammered, hoping the language barrier between them would mask the truth. "Nothing to worry about." But Dawson remained unmoved, his piercing gaze. Dawson listened in silence, his expression growing increasingly strained as the full extent of the deception unfolded before him. "I always told you I paid for those things with cash, because I thought I could manage on my own," Leona tried to explain, her voice choked with tears. "And I knew you'd be angry about the expenses, but I was sure I could pay for everything eventually." Instead of soothing him, her words only fueled Dawson's frustration. "How could you think lying was the solution, Leona?" he demanded, irritation evident in his voice. "You've not only put us in a horrible financial situation, but you've also broken our trust. How bad is it? Do you have any way to pay off even part of the debt?" That was when Leona revealed the full extent of the disaster. "I have nothing left," she admitted, her voice trembling with desperation. "The bank is about to seize my assets to cover the debts." The admission hit Dawson like a punch to the gut, as the gravity of their predicament sank. "Nothing to worry about." But Dawson remained unmoved. His emotions swirled in his eyes. Hurt, anger, determination, all battling for dominance. He stepped closer, his voice calmer than even he expected. "Leona," he said, his tone steady but laced with quiet fury. I understood everything you said. This isn't about your family. Don't you dare lie to me again." The revelation hit Leona like a freight train. There was no escape now. The truth crystallized with every word Dawson spoke. Surprise flickered across her face, quickly replaced by fear and shame. "You understood? But how?" she murmured, the weight of her actions finally crashing down on her. Dawson nodded, the slight tremor in his voice betraying the storm within him. "I've been learning French, Leona. I wanted it to be my gift for our wedding anniversary. But instead," he trailed off, shaking his head. "This is the reward I get." Cornered by Dawson's honesty, Leona realized there was no way out. She had no choice B. Cornered by Dawson's honesty, Leona realized there was no way out. "And what about the rescued animals? What happens to them?" Leona, faced with the devastating consequences of her choices, felt a wave of despair wash over her. "I'm so sorry, Dawson. I swear I never wanted us to reach this point." The enormity of the situation became painfully clear. It wasn't just their financial stability at stake. It was their home, their sanctuary, and the safety of the many animals they had saved together. Desperate for solutions, Dawson clung to any thread of hope. "What about your family?" he asked cautiously. "You mentioned conflicts with them earlier. Can they help us in any way?" Leona hesitated, looking down, as she revealed yet another layer of complexity. "My mother. She sent me money for a while. She helped cover some of the purchases, the debts. But she got tired, Dawson. She told me I needed to learn to manage on my own, that she couldn't keep supporting me." Her words came haltingly. For their future. For the first time in days, a flicker of hope ignited within him. A fragile flame, but one that refused to be extinguished. The days that followed were a whirlwind of activity. Dara became the driving force behind what they dubbed Operation Rescue Haven, her boundless energy pulling everyone into action. Flyers went up around town, social media posts spread like wildfire, and phone calls were made to local businesses, friends, and even strangers who might lend a hand. The goal was clear: save Dawson's home, clinic, and most importantly, the animals who depended on them. Leona, still weighed down by guilt, threw herself into preparations as well. She spent hours crafting homemade treats for bake sales, organizing donation jars at nearby shops, and reaching out to old acquaintances she hadn't spoken to in years. Each small contribution felt like penance, a way to make amends for the mess she'd created. Meanwhile, Dawson focused on caring for the animals, ensuring they, "Thank you for not giving up on me. On us." He smiled softly, raising his mug in a silent toast. "To second chances," he said simply. "To family," Leona replied, clinking her mug against his. In that moment, under the vast expanse of stars, Dawson felt a profound sense of peace. Life wasn't perfect. It likely never would be. But he had learned something invaluable. Even in the darkest times, light could break through if you let others in. Together, they had faced despair and emerged stronger, united not just by blood or circumstance, but by love for each other, for their community, and for the animals who had always been their guiding purpose. And as Ted bounded back onto the porch, panting happily, Dawson knew one thing for certain. No matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them head-on, with courage, determination, and the unwavering support of those who mattered most. Ask Explain. Once upon a time, in a small town nestled between rolling hills and whispering woods, Dawson and Dara found themselves caught in the undertow of misfortune. Their beloved animal rescue clinic, a sanctuary for strays, injured creatures, and forgotten souls, was drowning under mounting debts. But instead of surrendering to despair, they chose to fight back with an audacious plan. An event that would celebrate the spirit of animals while rallying their community around a noble cause. The idea was simple yet brilliant. A grand animal competition at the heart of the town square. Categories like Most Beautiful Dog, Fastest Runner, Most Skilled Performer, Largest Beast, and even Smallest Wonder were designed to ensure everyone could participate, from proud pet owners to curious onlookers. It wasn't just about winning ribbons. gazed at Leona, his heart swelling with admiration. "You face every challenge with so much courage and love. It's more than I could ever ask for," he said softly. His words ignited a flame of hope and gratitude in Leona's heart. Without hesitation, she stepped forward and they embraced, a hug that spoke volumes. It was filled with gratitude, love, and the promise of renewal. "Let's promise here and now," Dawson proposed, his voice steady and strengthened by determination, "that no matter what challenges the future holds, we will face them together, with love and unity, as we always have." Leona nodded, her eyes shimmering with happy tears. "Together, always," she whispered. In the shared silence that followed, both knew deep down that their love and mutual commitment would guide them through any storm life threw their way. Still wrapped in the warmth of their embrace, Dawson felt the need to address one last issue, a promise that needed to be made to ensure their future was built. The change was so profound that Leona transformed into almost a guardian of financial prudence, a shift that impressed and occasionally amused those who knew her. Meanwhile, Dara embarked on a new personal journey, enrolling in veterinary school just a year later. Fueled by her passion for animals and her desire to contribute even more to the clinic and the community, she became a source of inspiration for Dawson and Leona. Her determination and enthusiasm further strengthened the bonds between them. Under Dara's careful management and innovative ideas, the small shop within the clinic flourished, becoming a beloved landmark in the community. The success of their venture was not merely a testament to their hard work and dedication, but also to the power of solidarity and mutual support. Grateful for Dara's crucial role in their recovery, Dawson and Leona acknowledged that her friendship and contributions were essential to reviving their dreams. Together, they built more than a successful. Your support breathes life into our storytelling journey, inspiring us to craft exciting tales almost every day. Don't miss the next captivating story waiting just around the corner. It's bound to leave you amazed. We're truly grateful to have you here with us, sharing in this adventure. Right now, you can explore the links on your screen, where we've curated a special selection just for you. Dive into a world of valuable stories and unforgettable entertainment. We promise you won't be disappointed. See you there, and thank you for being part of our story. Ask Explain. Your support is the spark that keeps our storytelling fire alive. By joining us on this journey, you're helping to bring fresh, exciting tales to life nearly every day. Don't let the next captivating story slip through your fingers. It's waiting just around the corner. Ready to surprise and delight you. We've handpicked something special just for you. Right now, links are popping up on your screen. Offer.